Hello Aquarius and welcome to Mind Body Heart Tarot Therapy. I hope you're well. I'm here to do the reading for the month of May for Sun, Moon and Rising signs in Aquarius. And I pre-shuffle the cards, but let's see what messages pop out for the month of May 2019 Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Do check out also the videos for your moon and your rising sign if your sun is in Aquarius, because you're always gonna get like deeper insight about your current situation or your situation that you're gonna go through in May. Sorry about that. Alright, let's see what are the messages for my dear Aquarius for the month of May 2019. Alright, so here we go, the Page of Wands with the Four of Cups. What else do we have for May for my dear Aquarius? Something okay. One is on the floor. Alright. So the Four of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And now let's see what's the underlying energy. What's your theme here? The Three of Swords. Alright. Aquarius. I'm gonna pull out clarifiers for these cards. Nine of Cups with the Page of Wands. Yeah, this Three of Swords energy. You're still processing. Yeah, I think in this case it's quite literal. You're still processing a heartbreak. There's still like something coming. In your awareness, you're still like dealing with hurts from the past. That can come from relationships, like past relationships with partners, soulmates, or with family members, friendships, but something that had been hurting you deeply, and it may kind of show up for you right now. Eight of Wands with the Four Cups. Beautiful. What else do we have here for my dear Aquarius? Okay, believe it or not, I think that going through this Three of Swords energy is gonna be good for you. Five of Cups with the Four of Swords. Right. One more card, please. Alright, okay, we have two. So for the Queen of Swords, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor. Well, this is an interesting story here, Aquarius. If nothing else, it's interesting. Luckily, you, being a very rational type, understand the value of this. You don't like it, but you understand it. And bottom of the deck, you have the Knight of Cups to go along with your theme of Three of Swords. Absolutely beautiful. All right. It may very well be that your heartbreak comes from dealing with this archetype of the King of Wands, who's very passionate, very sexual, very creative, very popular, very um, confident person. Very attractive, really. And yeah, maybe a breakup in the past, or being somehow hurt by this person. You're kind of going through this process right now. This is a way to look at it. On the other hand, it could very well be that you are learning how to embody this type, this archetype, through the processing of your emotions, or at the mental level, right? You're learning how to draw the conclusions. You're learning to understand your heart. You're learning to understand why is it that you go hurt, and you're understanding this and use it as a personal power, because knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge is power. And the more you know yourself, the more you know why is it that I've been suffering, why is it I attracted this particular relationship or this experience, what have I learned from it. This is a process where you're learning from your pain, you're learning from your heartbreak, you're learning from, it's a sort of a post-processing. And yeah, it can feel a little bit confusing, can feel a little bit painful, can feel a little bit, I don't want to do this. And especially for you Aquarius, which is our expert in not feeling your emotions, or keeping them somehow at a distance, keeping this intellectual cool to it. You don't like feeling it. But this is a 3, and 3 energy has to do, like 3 and have to do with the mind, and the swords energy has to do with the mind again. So really it's not that much as going through the pain now, it's more understanding why you had to go through this pain, what you're learning from it, and allowing yourself to align with this, with what is it that your heart really needs right now. And that brings you here. It brings you this confidence and power. King of Wands is very powerful. He's like the most relaxed out of all the kings, because he's the most confident. He does not he's not afraid to make mistakes. He's not afraid to risk. He's not afraid to navigate. He's not afraid to, he's got this, he's got everything under control somehow. And that's just because he's not worrying. He knows that he has the capacity to cope with pretty much everything that comes in his way. And he does that because he's learned everything that he needed to learn throughout his experiences. And he learned to trust. He's the father of beliefs. He's the father of the wands. He's the king of the wand suit, which has to do with spirituality. He's got faith in himself, in creation, in the source, in divinity, in the universe, whatever you want to call it. He never questions that he will land on his feet one way or another, and whatever experience that he goes through, he knows that he needs to go through that in order to keep growing and learning. And he's thrilled for the experience. He loves adventure. He loves the experience, right? So yeah, I think there's a transformation happening right now with you into understanding these emotions and understanding what is it that you wish for. And by analyzing like sort of like your expectations of life right now, you're learning to build up this enthusiasm for life, if that makes sense to you. And you're getting like spiritual sort of messages from visualizing your heart's desire. You understand your heart right now, you're processing, and you can reprogram yourself to not think that you want the things that you wanted before. Maybe before you just wanted to escape, maybe before you just wanted to be alone, maybe before you just wanted to have these very idealized relationships, and maybe you wanted things to come easy for you. I don't know, I'm not saying that that's what you wanted, I'm just giving some examples here. But maybe now you're starting revisiting, like, what is it that my heart really, really yearns for deep down inside? And maybe I never allowed myself to feel that, or to go through this, because I thought that I could never fulfill those needs for myself. And you are a strongly independent person, Aquarius, and just the thought of being needy, just the thought of being like unable to fulfill your needs will immediately put you into the position of like cutting off those needs at the root. But it's not like you don't have them, you do. You're just ignoring them, and you're starving yourself to death. Starving your soul here. So now, like this transformation going through, where you're learning, like you see this wand like being, you're looking at it, you're seeing it maybe for the first time with new eyes, and that brings in inner transformation, and you are allowing yourself to understand what is it that you need, and you're looking at ways to fulfill them, those needs. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that like that creates this space where I think you're a little bit detached from your emotions still. Like this is still a rather mental process, processing at a mental level of what is it that your heart needs. And maybe you need this emotional detachment right now, where you can look at things with a cool mind. You can understand also the emotions. You can understand what's in these cups. You don't see much of what else is out there right now because you're still in processing mode. But maybe you don't feel much of anything, and that can feel rather dull. But I think you well, this is pretty typical of you sometimes, so don't get stuck in there, please. But you do feel you're learning so much right now. You're learning so much through this transformation. You're learning so much about who you really are, and how to fulfill your needs. And this brings like this whole rapid energy coming through, rapid movement, and downloads. I'm seeing this as you're getting downloads. You're getting like from this information, from this investigation that you're doing, from this transformation that you're allowing, and from retreating a little bit into this observing of emotions. It brings you so much information at a spiritual level. It's a big understanding of emotions at large, and of how humanity at large sort of processes emotions, not just you. because you're always oriented towards this, Aquarius. You're always oriented about like, okay, how does this work? How does what does human experience mean? What does humanity at large goes through? You're the humanitarian, really. And but you're also like cool and detached most of the time, and you are processing your own emotions here, and looking at it always helps you, kind of like gives you all these downloads at a bigger scale, being able to see the bigger picture. But sometimes, unfortunately, not you can see things at a bigger picture, but sometimes you can't see obvious things that have been shown to you, and that are gifts for you, but you can't see them because you're so focused on the big picture. We need to sometimes like be able to zoom in and out in order to have a deeper understanding of everything. So beware of this. And yeah, you have this you keep this retreat mode, and you maybe you started like feeling a little bit, you're building all this stability, and you're learning all this information, and you're seeing all this big picture, and it brings you some moment of rest, and it brings you a moment of grief. You start finally feeling something, but those feelings are of maybe emotional instability, and but it's also emotional freedom, because you're freeing yourself from the past hurts. You're freeing yourself of the responsibility you thought you might be carrying for other people's emotions. You're like, okay, these cups had been spilled, but that means that new energy can come through in those cups, and it's part of the emotional growth process. And boy, you could use that. Sorry. So yeah, I don't see this as a particularly long dark depression period. It's more of that like uncertainty that comes once you solved something and you start moving into a new direction, and a new growth, and that can feel a little bit uncertain and unstable, but it's okay because it makes room for the new, and you still have some of that emotional support there. You're not completely out in the cold. Yeah, you're letting go of something that's been with you for a while. Those 3 swords, 3 cups. Yeah, actually this is great because you are letting go of that emotional baggage that had been putting you in this space of processing. So still processing, getting so much processing into this reading. And the Queen of Swords, well, this could very well be your energy, your more feminine side of energy, but you're the air sign, you're the king of your castle here, the queen of your she's the Queen of Swords. She's amazing at communicating, she's amazing at understanding herself, and she's incredibly strong because she's suffered so much. She's been going through a lot in her life, and that gave her a lot of experience, but the knowledge coming from experience. And she knows how to communicate this flawlessly. She can put into words pretty much all her experience very eloquently, and people can relate to this. That's what makes her an actually amazing counselor, because she can relate to other people's experience. Yes, she kind of like go a little bit isolated and keeps a lot of distance from the world, and she can come across as rather cold and distant. But that's just because she understands the value of her personal space right now. and she values this a lot. She values her personal space. Not that she cannot relate to other people, she can, but all these processing of all these emotions give her a lot of independence. She can be so independent, and she can work on personal projects. She can be really focused. She can be really clear-minded. And you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor to clarify this Queen of Swords. And yeah, I think that she's very much aware of the of impermanence, and of the fact that she cannot really control her environment. She can only control the way she relates to her experiences. This is what she's learned from this. It's not that hard. It's not that negative experience or something that can be perceived as painful is not going to happen to her any longer. Of course she can, this will happen, but she knows how to extract the wisdom and the lessons from that, because she knows how to go through this processing again. She knows that it's transformational, and she knows, she accepts this. She truly accepts this. She accepts the impermanent nature of the universe, the impermanent nature of the life in general, and of everything physical, and even of emotions. Yes, emotions also come and go. We don't need to hold on to them so deeply. We don't need to identify ourselves so much with our emotions. We need to allow this clearing to happen. Allow everything to kind of rise and fall, just like the wheel is spinning, you know. And this brings her like all this, the Emperor energy is a very stable energy, very strong, somebody who is truly empowered. He's got a lot of control over his dominion. He's supported. He's sitting on that like heavy throne there. He's got like this sceptrum and the sphere, the golden sphere in his hand, and he knows how to rule. He knows how to rule his inner world, really. And a good ruler is not domineering. A good ruler understands the needs of the people, understands the internal needs that we need to kind of look at, and learns how to provide for them. This is very fiery energy. And again, here fiery energy, here fire energy, here fire energy. You may be dealing with a lot of fire energy around you right now, like maybe Aries or Leo, Sagittarius. But you may be learning also to embrace aspects of yourself that you've been neglecting and having to do with your inner drive, your passionate self. I know that as an Aquarius you kind of tend to be a lot in your mind and a lot like, you know, having a different way of processing emotions and not getting so overwhelmed by them like many other signs. But you're learning how to create space also for other aspects of yourself that need expression. So yeah, it's a beautiful transformation going on here, Aquarius. A lot of processing, a lot still in your mind, but you are processing your emotions and you are like learning about your needs. You're learning about your needs. And you're learning about the nature of the world, because the more you're learning about your own needs, the more you can relate to other people's needs as well. It's beautiful. Beautiful, Aquarius. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the reading and I hope you can relate to this. It's a beautiful process, very inspiring. Go out there and please do communicate with the world. How does this feel and what are you learning from this? Because there's a lot to learn. And yeah, spread the love. Aquarius. Do like, share, and subscribe if you relate to this reading. And have an amazing May. Whatever this is going on for you, accept it and go with it, because it's really, really good for you, and it brings out so much amazing energy. Have an amazing May out there, Aquarius, and I'll see you here next time.